Hello friends, today I'm going to be migrating my 2025-2026 Notion over to my 2026-2027 Notion, and I want to walk you through the process if you're also migrating your Notion over. We are going to be working with the same system, the one that I've created for ADHD brains called your ADHD Mind. However, if you are migrating from a different Notion system, it should be roughly the same in what you need to do to get all your data moved over. And I want to reassure you that this is actually a relatively simple and easy process, and it feels really good when you're done because you get to leave behind everything that you no longer need or want, and you get to kind of have like a fresh start with your Notion, which feels really, really good. So I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, first things first, you're going to want to make sure that you have both your old Notion system and your new Notion system open in two separate tabs. So I've already got the new Notion system here that I'm moving to open. I'm going to go over on my sidebar, right click my old Notion system and do open in new tab. That way I can have both of these open at the same time because we are going to be kind of hopping back and forth between the two of them. Now I'm going to want to make sure that I have the database pages open for both of them because that is the main thing that I'm going to be moving between both of these, as all of the data for the entire system lives in all of these databases. So what I'm going to do here is open up the databases for my old system. It's important to note that I most likely am not going to move any tasks except for the ones that I have in the future. So I most likely will hop over here to this month view. I will be looking for anything that is far in the future, and I will be migrating these over manually. Now, if you don't have any tasks scheduled for yourself on a future date, you actually don't need to do this at all, and you can feel free to skip this step and jump to the next one. What I'm going to do here in order to do this quickly is open up the task database in my new one and just copy over the name of the task and make sure that I put it on the same date. So I'm looking at August 18th right now. Put in that, open up an assigned date of August 18. Make sure that I fill out some of the other properties, but that should be all I need to do for that one. And I'm going to keep doing that until I've completed all of the tasks that I have already pre-scheduled for myself in the future, which I'm guessing is not that many. All right, I only had 4, and so that's great. Super easy. I've got those migrated over. I don't have to worry about them anymore. The other thing that I'm going to do on the new task database that I maybe should have done first is adjust these categories in case there are any that I have from my previous Notion that I would like in the new Notion. For instance, some of the ones that I have added are specific for like my work and stuff like that. So I'm going to add a few of those now. What's super important is that if you are going to adjust the business/freelance or the work one, that you simply edit it and change the name, because otherwise it will mess up some of the filters that we have in place. So that way I'm just going to edit those and then I don't have to worry about it messing anything up. I'm also going to just add in a few other ones that I know I have in here just so that they match what I've got over here. The nice thing is though, there's a lot of these that I actually don't need anymore that I have added in, just stuff that I don't do anymore. So I'm actually going to just kind of keep the list a little bit more simple than what I had, which is great. Now that I've done that, I'm going to migrate over my people database. So I will open up both people databases. As you can see, here is the new one. It currently has nobody. And here is the old one. And I'm going to do a really cool migration here where I select all of the people. Now, if there's any people that you do not want to move over, that is totally fine as well. You don't have to move them over. You can just uncheck who you would like. And I'm going to come up here, these little 3 dots right here, and I'm going to choose this awesome little move to icon. Now, what is really important to note is that any of the properties that are filled out will migrate over. However, the nice thing is these properties are exactly the same. So if I select those, go to these 3 dots here and do move to, Now, the name of your database is going to be YAM27. I changed mine to my initials because I also have the YAM27 in my Notion, and I want to make sure that I know that this is mine. So I changed mine to my initials and then the year, and I'll come over here and I'm going to search for the name of the database, which is BB27 people. You can see right here. I'm going to select this, and poof, all of those people are going to disappear. And if I come over here to the new database, it might take a second, but there they all are. All of my people right back in there, listed as clients, etc. Some of them, I believe, are just archived, which is why they're showing up in different views. That is all the people that I moved over, and they are all ready to go. Next, I want to move over my projects. And if I'm on this easy delete section, it's going to show me literally every single project, whether it's completed, archived, etc. So what I'm going to do is add a filter here based on status, because I would like to move over the projects only that I haven't started or that are in progress. Now this is going to show me all of the ones that either have not started yet or are in progress, and these are really the only ones I want to move over. Again, I'm going to select all of them here, click the little 3 dots, choose move to. Going to type in my initials and then projects. Whoops, should be the first one there. Come over to the new database. Now if I look at any current, it might take a second before they pop over. Okay, if you cannot see them, try refreshing, because for whatever reason they were not popping up for me, and I clicked off the page and I went and clicked back on the page and they were there. So now I can see that I have all of my projects either marked as in progress or not started yet, and they're gone from over here. Sometimes, you know, technology, we just got to give it a little restart and it's good to go. So now I've got all my people and I've got all my projects, the ones that I want anyways. I actually don't have any ideas in here that I'm going to move over, so just gonna leave that, and we'll move on to resources. Now, I have a lot of resources, and I don't want to move them all over. Specifically, if you were using the last year version of this, there are meetings that are inside of this resource database that I have zero desire to move over to the new database. So what I'm going to do is, on this easy delete section, I'm going to filter by topic and tag, and I'm going to choose this does not contain, and I'm going to type in meeting. This way it will remove anything that I have tagged as a meeting, which should be great. I'm also going to filter another one by archive and do unchecked. That way it's not going to bring over anything that is already archived. Because I have a bunch of old client data in here, I'm also going to add that the resource does not have the tag of client. So this will allow you to filter easily. If you're like, there's just stuff I don't want to move over, I'm not going to move it over. So this way it gives me a lot of the things that I actually do want to move over and lets me leave behind a lot of the stuff I don't. So I'm going to select all. I'm going to make sure you hit load more so that it actually lets you select all of them, and I can just verify that they are all selected. Gonna come up here, gonna hit move to, gonna do BB27 resources, boop, and come over here, give us a second here. They should all be in there. It looks like everything that I have added is there. Did not mean to click add a new one, and there we go. There's all my resources. Bada boom, bada bing, easy peasy. Like I said, this is generally a lot faster than you think it's going to be. If you did want to move over your meetings, if you come over here and I actually filter this by does include, and I specifically choose meeting, these are all my meetings. I could now theoretically, we'll just make sure that we hit load more. I could now theoretically move them all to my meeting database because I separated these out. We'll go ahead and see. There we go. So just something to think about. If you do decide that you want to move over your meetings, you can do that. The nice thing is if you move your people over first and then you move your meetings over and your meetings have linked people, it will link them for you automatically, which is really cool. So I'm just going to leave those. Can't hurt to have them there. But make sure that you separate your meetings from your resources because they are in 2 separate databases now. Content. I am going to move over a ton of my content. So again, I'm going to filter this list because I want it to include everything except I do not want to include content that has been posted. So I'm going to filter. The status is not posted. We don't want anything that I've already posted. That can just stay in the old Notion. I believe that that should be good. So I'm going to, got a lot of stuff here. Just make sure that I hit load more until there is nothing left. Okay. And I'm going to select all and I'm going to hit move to. And the cool thing is, if you've already moved over your projects and you have content that is linked to any projects, it will relink it automatically. So I'm going to choose content and move it right over. Now, if I come over here, I should be able to see everything that I moved over. And let me just see here because I do believe it linked it automatically to the projects, which is really cool. So that's kind of nice that this is in the order that it is, and it makes it really easy. If you've got stuff that's like linked, it will just relink it for you. The only thing I do believe that will not link over, because I kind of changed the way that this functions, is the platform. So I probably will go through and make sure that I add the platforms for these based on what I want it to be. Now I'm going to go to my supporting actions. Actually, what I'm going to do first is probably a good idea, is import the life objectives first, because then they will automatically link. And I'm going to import all these too, even though some of them are old. That should be good. And I'm going to hit move to BB27 life objectives. There they are. Wonderful. And now I am safe to import my supporting actions. So just going to make sure I don't have to hit load more, and I did. Going to select all of these, move to BB27 supporting actions. There we go. Voila. And they should be here. Amazing. Wonderful. Moving on, I do definitely want my journal entries in there. So I'm going to select all of those. I've got some really old journal entries in here for reflections and stuff like that, which is nice. Move to BB27 journal. Whoop, there they go. Bada boom, bada bing. There's all my journal entries. Now, I don't have any courses or assignments, so I don't need to move any of those over. I also got rid of the feelings database in this template, so no need to move that over. I really don't care to look at my previous habit tracking, so I'm not going to move that over at all. But I do want to move over my seasons because I have updated those, and I want to make sure that I have all of the ones in there that I have worked on. So I'm going to do move to BB27 seasons. Here we go. Should have them all in there. Wonderful. I am also going to move my tools because I have put quite a lot of tools in here, as you can see, and I want to have those. So BB27 tools. Bada boom, bada bing. Easy peasy. There they are. I am going to also move over my offerings because these are all mine and I would like them to stay there. BB27 offerings. Perfect. Beautiful. Wonderful. And is that everything? I think that's everything. So now we can just double check that these should be empty aside from your task database or anything that you left. Oh, monthly reviews. I did not do those yet. Okay. We actually will need to, I cannot select these automatically, but can I do this? Haha, I can. Highlight them. Move to BB27 monthly reviews. Bye-bye. We can highlight, right click, move to. There it is. And I don't need to move over 2027 because that hasn't started yet. Wonderful. Now you're gonna have duplicates if you had these filled out. So all you have to do is make sure that you delete the ones that are like blanks. So I can delete those. Okay, so I believe that is everything. We'll just make sure we didn't leave anything behind. Topics and tags, you are fine to leave these if you would like. The only nice thing is that if you do move them over, they will link. Honestly though, I think it might mess some stuff up. So And you don't need it for the new content database, so I would leave it. I would just make sure if there are any that you added that are not in the new one, that you would add them, but that should be pretty easy. Most people probably haven't added a ton, and they should be identical. Is that everything? Feelings we don't need. I didn't have any courses or assignments. I didn't move my habits. Got my seasons, got my tools, got my offerings. All right, so now the old Notion, we have moved over every single database, but that is not all that we need to do. So next we are going to move over some of our pages. Okay, so one more thing that I need to move over is I actually have some other miscellaneous pages linked on my Notion dashboard that I would like to move to the new system. So what I'm going to do is open up my sidebar here, over here, and I'm going to expand this page here until I can see the page that I would like these pages to live on, which is a little confusing. Anyways, these are all in a call out, and I would like to move all of these here. These are all like pages that I've made that I want to keep. So what I'm going to do is actually move the entire call out by clicking the 6 dots here and dragging it to the page that I want to move it to, which for me is my high energy dashboard. Now I also would like to move over, I have this page here too that was not included there. So I'm going to drag that there as well. And then that should be it for me. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm going to now go to this page. We'll do it over here since this is the page that they are on. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom, I'm going to see that call out, and I'm actually going to put this here too so that they're all together. And I'm going to move this call out up here because I have a little section here for the same thing. You can see, and I'm just going to delete that one because I no longer need it, and the headings were smaller in the last one, so I'm just going to make this bigger so that it matches. And there we go. Now I don't have to move that anymore. It's fantastic. Aside from that, there's only one other thing that I need to move over, and that is going to be my recurring tasks. So if you open up the database page again, and I go to my task database, and I click on this arrow right here, I'm going to see, let me move my camera real fast. I'm going to see all of the recurring tasks that I have. Now, the nice thing is I'm only going to move over ones that actually are set to be recurring, which is have that little blue thing. And in order to do this, I'm going to go to my new Notion system, go to the databases page, same thing, tasks. And when you add a recurring task, you're going to click this arrow here and then click new template. And I'm going to go back over here, and let's see, the first one that I have is monthly reviews. I'm actually going to click on edit here, copy this, paste it. We have that set as personal for the category. The assign date is important. You want to always make sure that when you're creating a template, you have this set to today. It's a special option that you get when you're creating a template. And then this one is repeating every 2 weeks. So I will start that every 2 weeks, and I'm just going to let it start whenever. Tomorrow's fine. It's around the middle of the month. That works for me. And we'll go ahead and hit save. And now we have our monthly reviews. So I'm just going to quickly do that for all of these. So that I can import them pretty quickly, and then I will come back when I'm finished. If you want to pause and do yours now too, that's totally fine. I should mention, if there are any in here that are currently repeating that you don't need anymore, you can just hit cancel recurrence, and then you no longer have to look at those. Like there's a few of these that I no longer need, so I will go through and get rid of those first. If you have anything also that's like duplicated every 3 months like this, little pro tip, you can actually see when the next occurrence is. So the next one for this is July 28th. So if I come over here to my new one, I can actually put in duplicate every, this one's going to be 3 months. And the starting date, if I put it in as July 28th, that way we are right back on track. I'm going to also set this to the 28th just so that it matches. Every 3 months on the 28th. Perfect. Hit save. Make sure that I put the date in. Make sure that everything matches over here. Good to go. Now that I've moved them all over, I'm going to come over here and actually cancel the occurrence for all of them so that in the old system, they're not just repeating over and over again just to like I don't know, if I log in a year later, these are all just going to be sitting in there repeating for forever. So once you've moved them over and you know like which ones are good to stop repeating, you can go ahead and cancel all of these by clicking on the blue dot and then hitting cancel. Then if I come over here to my new task database, you'll see that I have all of them, and it's so much cleaner and nicer. And that's really great because instead of having a whole bunch of ones that I am no longer using, because throughout the year I set these up and then I just get rid of them, it's much cleaner now. So now the only thing left to do is to clean up and customize my pages. So I obviously do not need any of these instructions, so I'm just going to delete them. Eventually I will customize this page. As you can see, I did kind of customize mine here. I might do that at some point. And then I will change the names of things and kind of customize these and just make sure that everything kind of looks how I want it to. I probably will take this as an opportunity to actually change a lot of the imagery, like instead of having the same things that I've had all year, I might update it a little bit, change it. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep it the same. Either way, that's all that I have to do left. And I will also be customizing my business page because my previous one here is Pokemon and I love it. So I kind of want the new one to look a little similarly. So yeah, that's all I have left to do, customize it, but I can start using it right away. All of my data is in here. My tasks and everything are in here. I don't have any previous tasks, obviously. I will need to move over. I forgot to move over just my tasks from today, which I will do. But yeah. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Whole process probably took me 35 minutes. But it's a lot easier than I feel like we think it might be. And now I have all my stuff. I do tend to keep my old Notion systems just in case there is something that I need to go back to. I know we moved over like most of it, but if there's ever something that I need to go back to, I keep them in an archive folder. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully that helps you learn how you can move from one Notion system to the new one. I personally feel so good whenever I do this because it's just like a fresh, clean slate, and I get to sort of reevaluate what's important to me and what's not, and then I end up with this super clean Notion ready for the year ahead. So hope you had fun. Thanks. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And of course, if you're looking to purchase this version of the template, you can find that linked in the description. Thanks, friends.